guys think it's time? Lloydie?
Inserting the key. The key is turned.
Hammer?
My key's been waiting. I mean, you guys know. It's got an itchy trigger finger. It's in. It's inserted. It's turned.
The people have spoken.
Warning. Panic. Warning. Panic. Warning. Panic. Warning.
We have edged toward the panic button several times this season and always retreated because, quite frankly, the team's play suggested that was the right course of action. But we have reached a point, my friends, that I think we all agree that the season is in peril. And the only thing that can bring relief is the TSN 1200 panic button.
Can we?
Warning. Panic. Warning. Panic. Warning. Panic. Warning.
Can I just say that I love the panic button? Like the panic button has been a staple here for, I don't even know how long.
Decades.
Oh, my God. I just miss it so. I just want to.
You're Ebenezer Scrooge at the end. You there, boy? What day is this?
Well, you're so itchy, you broke into the top of the hour and
Yep.
said, no, I can't. This can wait no longer.
It can't wait any longer. It cannot wait any longer. People have called for it for weeks at various times. But yesterday, all the events of yesterday and last night, add it all together. It's time.
Warning. Panic. Warning. Panic. Warning.
And on this January the 9th, 2026, we bring you inside the panic button to echo the great words of Gord Wilson and anoint this 2025-2026 Ottawa Senators season in great peril and in danger of rolling off the side of the road like the old 18-wheeler. Who was it that gave us that great quote?
Brian Burke.
Yeah.
18-wheeler going off.
After the Sens fall 8-2 in Colorado last night.
I know the Sens have had bad days in the past. And I'm not talking recency bias here, but just in terms of run of play since after Christmas, that game against the Blue Jackets.
Game against the Leafs.
Game
Start with
against
that
the
one.
Leafs. The Blue Jackets was the big one.
Yep.
First
Salt
period
Lake.
against Washington, and you're like,
Oh.
I was like, I group chatted you guys in the intermission.
Lloydie
and
was on
I was
holidays.
I
and
was
he
on
wanted to
holiday, and I was worried you were going to turn the key without me the next morning.
Wait for me, guys.
I was like, and then they turned it around,
By the way, we might have in that situation. Now, the Senators did come back and play well in that game. But had you offered to come in and work the next day, Lloydie, we would have
stop.
done that.
Yeah,
But no,
So
Mr. Holidays didn't want to press the panic button
see what
then.
he's doing now. Now, Sens fans, you know what? If they would have hit the panic button then they would have saved it in time and made the playoffs. It's Lloyd's fault. He should have come in off
I'll
holidays.
put that in my holster for now.
And then all marks leave.
Yep.
And then the game in Salt Lake.
Yep.
Brady Tkachuk may be one of his
Worst games.
worst games
Oh, absolutely.
in Sens history.
In his history.
In his history. And then back-to-back Colorado last night. Everything that happened during the day.
Let alone and then the game and Reimer and everything. I mean, Reimer's probably the high point of the day yesterday. Signing 37-year-old James Reimer is the high point of the Ottawa Senators day.
It's been a rough 48 hours for Sens
So
fans.
you're edging toward that you thought just if we take not even the 24 hours, the 12 hours that was yesterday from noon until midnight and say in the entirety of the Senators franchise, where would that rank in terms of bad 12 hours? It'd be up there. I'm not sure it's the all-timer. Like other periods of bleakness have lasted just long period stretches of time.
Yes.
And we're all aware of that. We don't need to relitigate all of that. In terms of insta impact and lasting 12 hours, that one would be near the top of the list.
Yeah, I'd be going that 24. That game against Salt Lake, Brady Tkachuk, all the fans, really for the first time, kind of turning on their captain and criticizing the captain. And then all the social media garbage that was happening throughout the day. and then the answer to, and then the debacle that was the game against the Avalanche, that was a rough go for Sens fans. And Sen Army, that was a hard one.
So I know we're going to get to the statement that was put out and that talk as well. But when I knew the panic button conversation, what we all knew was going to come up at some point today. And then in all likelihood, we knew that we were going to slam that button. And here we are. Honestly, the tone of that statement from yesterday, that kind of, when I'm thinking about panic button, I'm like, well, the Sens organization's hitting the panic button. Why shouldn't we?
Yep.
That statement could be construed as a panic button statement. Like that was, like we all read it, and we'll get to it. Again, if people have missed it, if you're listening to this show, you've seen the statement. Okay, this is not new information in all likelihood, but we'll get to it. It's like the way that's worded and how aggressive it is and visceral it is, it's like, of course we hit the panic button today. Teams play, everything that's going on, it's like the Sens organization hit the panic button with that statement.
I agree. So I don't know what it was like for you guys. I don't know what it was like for the average listener out there, especially, obviously, if you listen, you're probably a big hockey fan, and you may or may not be a Senator fan. My phone yesterday afternoon, and I don't know where it started. Maybe it started with the one guy on that posted something regarding the Allmark situation.
Oh, the fake guy.
Right.
That made the account.
Which got scrubbed.
Yes.
And then the statement came out shortly thereafter.
Right. But just to, I must have gotten from people in my sphere, I don't know how many different texts I got yesterday from. Have you heard? Have you seen?
Oh, I know.
Right?
Same.
And I think everybody's probably the same. The point being that when something gets out in this day and age on the internet, the barn door is open, the paddock is open, the gate is open, the horse is running free. You're never going to put it back in the barn.
Well, would we be talking about this if that statement wasn't released?
About just the internet stuff?
Yeah.
No. No.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's irresponsible to answer to comments from.
Well, no, I don't think it's irresponsible. Well,
oh,
okay,
I think it is. I think it's irresponsible for.
It's irresponsible for someone to put that out without any knowledge.
100%.
Okay,
and then to answer and talk about it and give some sort of level of credibility to it, with no proof and no backing. I don't think we're talking about it. I don't.
Are you two? I just want to be clear. Are you both talking about two different things? Are you talking about the account that was taken down where it went viral, or are you talking about the actual Senator statement, JR?
Yeah. I don't think what the Senators did last night is irresponsible.
No. No. That's not what I'm saying.
You're talking about the original.
I'm saying the fact that the statement came out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to be clear.
Okay.
Opens the door for us to talk about it, which we wouldn't have talked about.
Right. And again, people have their opinion on that. I saw various people within the greater hockey sphere who I follow on social media suggesting, different people said different things. Some fans of the team said, absolutely, I love the response from the team. It was the right thing to do. So various other people said, all you're doing by issuing a statement is you're just bringing a bigger spotlight to it. And there's no way that you're ever going to be able to put that the information, as heinous as you may feel that it is, talking from the organization's point of view, you're never going to be able to put the genie back in the bottle. It's out there. It is what it is. Now, I am sure the feeling of the organization was, and the way that it's, and I know it says it's written by Steve Staios, to me, I read it and I think that's from Michael Andlauer.
That's my read as well. Like that's an emotional statement. Like that's not your run of the mill. All right, let's get a statement out there. Let's craft this.
Mm-hmm.
That's like somebody's pounding a one. Like,
right.
Oh, no, take the F-bombs out. Don't do that. Okay, I'll take that out.
I can imagine probably from where it started to what it actually came out. Can you imagine where it started?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
What's the first draft of that statement?
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. So two schools of thought. We all have our own opinions on whether it was, there's the point of should they have just put out a statement and maybe not been as, what's the word I'm looking for?
Visceral.
Okay, that's a good word. Good, strong word. Right? Just issue a more less visceral statement. Or it's like, you know what? You're defending your guy.
I don't think they should have released anything at all. I don't think they should answer for garbage comments that happen online. I don't think you need to send a statement out. And this is just my own personal feeling. I don't think you need to send a statement out back in your guys. I think you can easily do that in private. Because again, like I said, if that statement's not released, we're not talking about it.
You know what, Hammer? I'm kind of with you on that as well. It's the old saying that's been, used many different ways. Don't get in a wrestling match with a pig because the pig likes it. And by putting out a statement like that, you are drawing even more attention to it.
100%.
For those that have not seen it, we probably should read it because it's not that long. It is penned under Steve Staios, President Hockey Operations General Manager, and it reads, "Our organization was extremely disappointed to read the completely fabricated and false stories that are spreading around social media about our hockey club. Linus is away from our team for personal reasons, and he has the entire organization's support. We ask that people respect his privacy. But clearly, that request was not heard by the lowest forms of trolls and sick people who scour the internet. We are disgusted that outside forces are attempting to disrupt our hockey club. This statement will put an end to the ridiculous speculation that has spread online." That's from Steve Staios, signed by Steve Staios, President GM of the Ottawa Senators. Like the last line that says the statement will put an end to the ridiculous speculation that's spread online. No, you can't do that. It's the age of the internet. Nothing is going to stop the spread of it. The point, the debate we're having right now is by you shining a larger spotlight on it as an organization, have you caused it to spread even further? Now, does it cause any more damage? I don't know.
If you read through, like when Darren Dreger retweeted it, when Elliot Friedman retweeted it, and you go through those comments, the first, 20 to 40 comments are, what's this all about? Because it's fans outside of this community here in Ottawa.
Right.
And so now you spread it across the NHL, the entire league.
But I think maybe they would think that, again, because, again, I'll go back to the example of just myself yesterday. When this was initially put out and then how many messages I got from all kinds of disparate people in my life, not interconnected at all of them within a 2-hour window. Okay, so right now it was within the broader Sens fan community. It's the age of the internet, man. Everything will eventually go everywhere. And you know what flows downhill. So, and people, and this is the other part of it is, people love to gossip. They do. It's human nature. Who amongst us, when Linus Ullmark took his leave from the team, didn't wonder why? Now, they don't have to answer it publicly, and he doesn't have to answer it publicly. Absolutely. But as human beings, we all say to ourselves, I wonder why that happened.
Here in this city, absolutely.
Right? Do you guys feel any differently?
No,
If someone, I'm not going out to search for it.
I'll give you an example that we all remember, the whole Hoffman-Karlsson thing a few years ago. Like, that was an underlying people, what's going on there?
Right.
That's just, and go around the league, the history, like various sports, this is a TMZ sports kind of a thing, right? Why do you think sites like that exist? You're right. People love to gossip.
And I'm not saying that I'm above that.
No.
Okay? I love to find out about things. Absolutely. We're in the information business. Now, this is kind of not this, when I'm talking about what I like to learn about things, it's not specifically what I'm talking about. But I'm curious like everybody else is.
But when you hear from players outside of this market taking leaves of absence, you wonder the same thing, and then it's gone. For me with Linus, leave of absence, I get you, and then I'm not thinking about it
Now,
again.
let's go back to, and this is where I need my memory refreshed, the whole Corey Perry, Connor Bedard situation
Yes.
from whenever that was, a couple of years ago. Was there any sort of statement put out by anybody at the time? Because all of a sudden it turned like it was, you want to talk about bad things that were being said, like just over the top, incredibly cruel, honestly, with no backing information. And it spread like wildfire. But something happened where that entire story or made up story was turned on its head. And I don't remember exactly what that was. I don't remember if the Hawks organization put out a statement or whether somebody just spoke out and said, but eventually everything got retracted. And in fairly short order, the whole thing, I will say, and it was incredibly embarrassing at the time, right, for all parties concerned. But it was well into the rearview mirror fairly quickly. It was refuted. Everybody kind of accepted when it was refuted. Nobody really even talks about it anymore, not even in a joking manner. So and maybe that is what the organization, the Sens, are thinking might happen here. If we come out with a very strong statement in defense of the guy on our team, that maybe the narrative, to use the word of the day, maybe the narrative will change on this. I don't know that that's going to be the case, but if we just think about recent hockey history and the internet and things that are happening off the ice with the team, maybe that's the example they're thinking.
Yeah, the thing with Corey Perry wasn't like he didn't take a leave of absence. That was an internal investigation by the Blackhawks.
The Blackhawks put out a statement that they're going to terminate his contract. He's in violation of his contract for conduct, blah, 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 blah. And that's how that went down.
And
and then the speculation came out of that as to what happened.
Okay. But I guess the information I'm looking for is why did things change on that? Where it became widely, because again, everything, the whole rumor thing that came out of that I'm sure everybody that's listening right now is well aware of, was extremely cruel. And all of a sudden, it changed. Mm-hmm. Right? And it's like everybody accepted the fact that that was not the case at all.
Like, okay, in the here and now, all this stuff that's been circulating with Allmark, this has been circulating for shortly after he took his leave of absence. That's when I first got wind, like a couple. And you don't like, and it's been, you hear about these things all the time. Different thing, like you don't just go with everything all the time, right? Nobody does that because a lot of it is horse bleep. You don't do it. It's social media. It's the internet. Like, so you're like, whatever, right? So I just think it probably got to the point where, because I was the same, JR, like my phone yesterday afternoon into the early evening, people calling me, text messages, like just non-stop. Like it was a wildfire at that point now in the rumor mill sphere. So I think the Senators got to the point, they probably figured, all right, this is really getting out of hand now. Really getting out of hand because it had been circulating a little bit for a while. It's like, okay, how do we nip this? Let's do this. Let's put out a statement. And apparently, let's put out a very, very, very strong statement. Mm-hmm. And hopefully, that'll be the end of that. It's not going to, it doesn't end here. Like, it never ends, to your point. Once stuff starts, like, the people will still claw onto this, and here we go.
Phil writes, on Allmark, as long as you don't give information on what's actually ailing him, rumors and speculation will keep coming. It's unfortunate, but that's how these things work, especially with social media. That's from Phil. There is a point, though, on this, Phil, to push back on that of, people do have a right to their privacy, right? So where is that line? How much information do you as and we're talking about a hockey player, okay? This is not something that puts food on your table or a roof over your head. This is, this is this is your diversion. This is what takes you away. What sort of information do you and I and all of us have the right to? Honestly, we don't.
No.
We're curious about it. Absolutely. We don't. There doesn't have to be anything that comes out publicly specifically of this is why he's away from the team.
You don't have to get into the details because you're right. Every player, everybody has a right to some privacy here on reasons why you're away. from your job. That's basically what's going on right now with Allmark. But this is such a different animal. We're talking about professional sports. The whole reason it exists is for the entertainment of people. You're in the entertainment business. And it is a business. You're asking your customers to follow along with the storyline of your team playing in this league and spend a lot of money doing it, and ask you to continue to spend a lot of money doing it. And then people get ticked off when they feel that there's an information deficit. It's like, what's going on here? I'm spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm not saying this is right. I'm just trying to, this is why I think a lot of people do get quite over the top angry about it. Oh, I should know. Why shouldn't I know? It's like, well, that's kind of like if you are invested emotionally and financially to the level that a lot of fans are, and you feel like you're being left in the dark because all you do care about is performance on the ice. That's the thing. Okay, let's say Allmark rejoins the team. Let's say he plays tomorrow. I think that's a stretch, but let's say he does, gets a shutout, they smoke the Panthers, and they go on a run. Then every fan, everybody that's invested in this team, you're like, that's all right. Okay, good. I'm fine now. Because at the end of it, as a fan, that's really all you care about. You want to know, my team I didn't see this coming. Like, look where they are in the standings. Got smoked last night. It's just, the goaltending hasn't been good enough in general. What's going on this year? Made the playoffs last year.
Why does my team suck?
Why does my team suck? What's going on? And why is my number one goaltender who makes over $8 million a year away from the team now, and we're counting on, and I'm not getting in any information? And so then speculation fills a void on that, and things get out of hand, and here we are.
It's a good text. Unsigned, though. Again, in 2026, like in 2025, we're signing our texts. However, this is a first-time texter because we see the text history. Good morning, guys. I see this as a labor relations move. Speculation will continue whether or not the Sens released a statement or stayed silent. I think this is more of a message to current players and any players considering coming to the Sens that the organization will support its players. I think I think there's some merit to what this person has written. My issue is only, again, and the debate is, any statement put out, does that put a bigger spotlight on the story? Does that make it bigger than it needed to be? I can debate that. I do take issue with how they framed that's my personal opinion, how their actual statement reads. I personally, and I have no background in public relations whatsoever, would not have been, to use your word, as visceral as they were. As heinous as what's been written, right, what's out there on the internet is, I understand, but you can't, in my opinion, as an organization, become emotional about it as well.
Yep.
And that's what it kind of reads to me.
When I first read it, I only honestly thought that in my mind's eye, I'm like, if this was a situation it's a few years ago, I'd be like, 100% Eugene Melnick wrote that. Right?
Right.
Like that statement, visceral's a word of the morning now. How visceral it was came across as very emotional and visceral and not vetted enough maybe to put out a statement. Like that's the initial vibe on it. But I understand why you're angry. I think everybody gets that. Why the Senators are like, you kidding me? What's going on here? All right, are we going to put a statement out? Let's do this. Put something out for sure. But that's not ordinary. The tone of that.
No. Absolutely the tone of it for sure. Dave in Canada writes, putting out a statement like that is a no-win situation for the Sens. It gives validity and oxygen to the story. On the flip side, what if there is some form of truth to the situation? If and when that comes out, they look even worse. That's from Dave in Canada. All right. Again, everybody's got an opinion on it. Certainly that became a huge part after the internet rumors began yesterday. Then that added to it. Then the game happened, which was one of the worst games. Like, it's just an exclamation point on a terrible 12 hours for the Ottawa Senators yesterday. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They lose 8-2 in Colorado. now lost 6 of 8, and rapidly falling out of touch with the Eastern Conference playoff race. That's why we invoked the panic button this morning. The people have spoken.